Crowd turns on Keir Starmer moments after Tommy Robinson speaks in London. You're not going to believe what just happened in London. It started like any other political gathering, a high-profile appearance by Labour leader Keir Starmer, framed as a calm, policy-focused stop in the capital. But just moments after controversial figure Tommy Robinson addressed a crowd nearby, everything shifted. This wasn't just a case of public disagreement. No, this was a reaction. A real, raw moment where a crowd that was expected to listen flipped. And it all unfolded live, in front of the cameras. On Thursday afternoon, in the heart of central London, Keir Starmer was scheduled to speak at a public engagement event. The focus: national security, social cohesion, and party unity. But what the planners hadn't anticipated was timing. Because just minutes before Starmer took the stage, a nearby crowd had gathered listening to none other than Tommy Robinson. Known for his fiercely unfiltered political takes and highly polarizing public image, Robinson's message this time? Crystal clear. In a short but emotionally charged speech, he accused mainstream politicians, particularly those in Labour leadership, of ignoring working-class voices, dodging accountability on migration, and turning a blind eye to what he described as real issues that affect real people. Now, whether you agree with Robinson or not, here's the part no one's debating. The crowd listened. And when Starmer stepped up just minutes later, the energy in the space was already different. As Starmer began his carefully prepared speech, a few scattered murmurs. Then louder interruptions. Some boos. Then full-on chants. From the edges of the crowd came calls of, "We heard what he said. What do you have to say? Why didn't you speak up years ago? You let this happen." The Labour leader, visibly caught off guard, attempted to maintain composure. But the reaction from the public was anything but calm. And the optics, especially in an election season, could not have been worse. This wasn't a planned debate. It was a spontaneous pushback. And it's already sparking headlines across the UK. According to attendees, it wasn't just about what Robinson said, it was about what Starmer didn't. Several members of the public claimed that Starmer has consistently avoided addressing past controversies, from his role as Director of Public Prosecutions during sensitive investigations, to ongoing questions about how Labour is handling grassroots frustrations. This wasn't about Tommy Robinson, one attendee told an independent live stream. This was about finally hearing someone say what we've felt for years and watching the politician squirm when it hits the air. Another added, "It doesn't matter whether you agree with Robinson. People are tired. They want straight answers, not dodges." Social media erupted just minutes after the footage surfaced. Trending terms like Starmer crowd and Robinson speech shot up on X, formerly Twitter, and TikTok. One tweet with over 50,000 likes read, "You can feel the tide turning. People don't buy the polished speeches anymore." Another simply said, "Starmer just got reality checked live." Even some Labour-leaning commentators expressed concern. Political strategist Ava Brooks posted, "The Labour comms team should have seen this coming. You can't control the narrative anymore when the street talks first." Meanwhile, conservative figures didn't miss the chance to capitalize, calling the moment revealing and urging Starmer to face the public without filters. First, this wasn't just a clash of personalities. It was a moment that pulled the curtain back on a much bigger issue: the growing disconnect between political elites and a restless public. And it's happening right now, across party lines in the UK, in Europe, even beyond. When someone like Tommy Robinson, who sits far outside the political mainstream, says something that resonates more than a major party leader, it forces everyone to stop and think. Why are people listening to him, and not them? Is it messaging, credibility, or a deeper political fatigue boiling over? This wasn't the speech Keir Starmer expected. It was a moment of public blowback, live, raw, and unfiltered. And while Labour's campaign team has remained silent so far, one thing is already clear. Something is shifting on the ground. The public wants more than soundbites. They want honesty, clarity, and yes, sometimes even confrontation. The next few weeks could define how politicians respond not just to their critics, but to the people who feel they've been ignored for far too long. And the question remains, if this is just the beginning, how much louder will the voices get? Stay tuned, because this isn't over.